The weather around these parts has been absolutely brutal lately. These past 2 days, the wind has been at like Mach 3. It's been like cold and raining. I mean, last week it was like 60 degrees and sunny. You saw my video about my boss and the embezzlement thing. The weather was beautiful. I had the windows down. I had the music blaring. And now, flash forward, it's like been 3 or 4 days and there's snow. I don't know if you guys could see it. Let me zoom in from the head cam. There's snow on the ground and it's just cold and raining. What's going on with Mother Nature? Mother Nature's being a real pain in the ass right now. But I wanted to talk to you guys about my roommate in college. He was a good guy, but I had a lot of internal like frustration about some of the things he did. I'm sure any roommate, I'm sure he had a lot of problems with shit I did because I wasn't the perfect roommate either, but we were always cool, but I just wanted to really rant about some of the shit that he would do and some of the stuff he did that really grinded my gears and sometimes shit that grossed me out. All right, let's throw this bitch in reverse. I only did 1 semester in college and I played on the football team. It was a little school in Connecticut called Post University. It was the first year that school had a football program. Post University is really mostly an online, it's a lot online, but the people that are on campus, it's all athletes. So it's like all lacrosse, all baseball, football, soccer, just shit, basketball, shit like that. That's all the campus, all the dorms. My dorm was some of the football players because all the football teams were scattered, but for the most part, it was football. It was like half football players and then half of the soccer players. And before I get into my roommate, I just wanted to let you guys know that out of all the bad smells of athletes, like after practice and after games and shit, athletes be kicking, the worst of the worst, the most gut-wrenching, horrid smells of athletes is from soccer players. These Brazilian soccer players at Post University, they smelled so goddamn bad because our laundry was on the same floor. So every time they would be doing their laundry and have their laundry out, dude, it just smelled like hot ass, bro. It was so bad. And the football players, I'm not gonna act like football players smell great, but at least we smelled better than these soccer players. I don't know what they were eating to make their sweat smell so pungent, but it was horrible. But let's get into my roommate. So everyone on the football team had a football roommate. That's kind of how, that's how the campus did it. So my football roommate was this Dominican guy named Tristan. It was Tristan, but I always called him Tristan. I guess I have an affinity for Dominicans because my roommate was Dominican and he fucked with me, and now all the people that work that are Dominican fuck with me. For example, I had one of the Dominican ladies that, this is unbelievable. Fuck you. One of the Dominican ladies that did, you believe that jackass back there? Jesus Christ. Could have killed both of us. One of the Jesus Christ. One of the Dominican ladies that was doing sides went up to me because she had known me for 2 years, and she starts saying some shit in Spanish, and then I go up to Jose. I'm like, yo, tell me what this bitch is saying over here. Excuse me, tell me what this girl's saying over here, because I can't understand. And Jose goes, your ass before like this, your ass now like this. So basically she said my ass grew because I've been squatting at the gym, and the lady at sides told me that my ass had grown. I don't know how I got even started how did I even get started talking about that? I don't even know. In editing, I'm gonna realize what was it? Oh, it was talking about how I get along with the Dominicanas. Yeah, so that's, I don't know why I said that. It pertains to nothing, but basically I have a nice ass according to the Dominicans. I'm a Dominican ass whisperer, but I don't know about you guys, but I'm really not a roommate guy. I really like being by myself. I like doing my own thing. I like having my privacy, but in a college dorm room, especially for a freshman, when you're in a fucking 5x5 cell basically of concrete, that just wasn't for me, for real. I really didn't like it. Even though Tristan was a cool guy, I like my alone time. Do you know how hard it was to have a girl in the dorm room and try to get anything going on? It was basically fucking impossible because Tristan stayed in the dorm. When he wasn't at football practice, he was in the dorm for the whole entire day basically. The first week of dorming with him was like hell, not really to any fault of his own, but we all had our football pads. We were doing uppers, which in football terms is just you wear shorts, but you have your shoulder pads and helmet on for practice. So that's uppers. And the locker room for some reason wasn't open yet. So we had to keep our pads in the dorm room, which was so disgusting because it just smelled like shit, no matter what you did. Because you start training in August and it's 90 to 100 degrees outside and you're all sweating. You're doing 2-hour practices and you can't really wash shoulder pads or helmet because of how big and clunky they are. So usually when they're in the locker room, it's ventilated and that alleviates the smell and kind of helps the pads air out. But when you're in a dorm room, it's an enclosed space. The windows don't really open. and it's just fucking disgusting. So imagine having to eat, sleep, and do, I don't know, anything in a dorm room where it smells like hot ass the entire time. We're blessed that it didn't smell as bad as how the soccer players smelled, but it was definitely kicking for sure. So there's a few things that this said roommate did that really grinded my gears, so I'll get started with them now. Number one is he would watch Netflix, but it was Netflix in Spanish, which is fine. Like, I don't mind. Like, watch whatever you're gonna watch. The problem arose when he was watching it so ear-piercingly loud. Like, I would go to the fucking communal bathroom, which is a whole nother issue by itself because I hate that shit. I hate communal bathrooms, bro. I wanted my own bathroom so bad. But even in the bathroom, I could hear, like, from my room, I could hear this motherfucker playing. You know, you want to know what he would, and he wouldn't just watch like any random show. The only normal show he watched was Squid Game, because back when I was in college, that's when Squid Game really popped off for the first time. But he would watch shit like, he watched Shrek. He would watch Shrek loud as fuck in Spanish. He would watch Harry Potter loud as fuck in Spanish. One of the times I walked in and he was watching Boss Baby in Spanish. It's like, what are we doing? Like, how old are you? This dude was like 22 years old. I have Snapchat memories saved to some of the shit that I would record like without his knowledge, so I'll put them in right, bam, I'll put them in there. So obviously that was a fucking issue. Now, take a guess as to if I opened up and told him about that it was something that frustrated me. I'll give you 3 seconds to answer. No. Of course I never fucking told the guy. I didn't want like a confrontation with the dude, and he was just like, he was doing his own thing. Like, he never complained to me when I would do shit probably that he found annoying, so I was just kind of chilling. But best believe in the group chats that I was in with my boys, I was talking mad shit and venting to them, letting my anger out to them, and that really helped. Thing two that really pissed me off about him is how early he went to bed. Now, me personally, I'm a late bed person. Like, on average, because I work late, and on average, like, I'll go to bed at like in between the 2 to 3 slot, AM slot. That's really just where I thrive. But when I was in college, I was really tired and I would have to get up early for school. Like, I had economics at 7:30 in the morning. I fucking never showed up to that class because there was like sometimes options to do remote. Bro, I never fucking showed up to that class. But like Tristan would, or should I say Tristan, would go to bed early. But not only that, like, because he was going to bed early, like he would go to bed at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, which is like absolutely ridiculous because at that point in the day, like I had already done practice, team meetings, school, fucking dinner, homework, and I was really just focused on numbing the pain away by playing Xbox with my boys, right? Or like hot lapping time trials in F1, I think 2020, it was F1 2021 at the time. So I would have to like be in the party with my boys playing like fucking Overwatch and Warzone and shit like that, like competitive games where you have to like communicate. And I would have to like whisper into the mic because I didn't want to wake Tristan and be a dickhead about it, you know what I mean? The whole lights out at 9:30 thing really wasn't flying with me, so eventually I did bring it up to him. I was like, Tristan, you can't be like turning the lights off and like closing down shop in the dorm room at 9:30. That just can't happen. Like, we can't be doing that. I told him that's the one line I'll draw. Like come on, throw me a fucking bone here. At first he was kind of like not really with it, but eventually he was just like, all right, yeah, fuck it. And that kind of squashed that problem right there. And those were like the major things that he did. He also did a few minor things, and I'm gonna rapid fire them out to you right now. He would leave open food in the dorm room. He would eat food that smelled like shit in the dorm room. He would have his girl in the dorm room, and he would like be sleeping in the bed with her like midday, so I wouldn't even be able to chill in the dorm. Like, I'd have to find some other place to chill because he'd be sleeping in the bed with his girl at like 3 or 4 in the fucking afternoon, or even before that, like early afternoon. Oh guys, I just forgot it until this exact moment. For like 90% of the time that I was rooming with him, so for like, I don't know, 3 months, periodically, like throughout the week, like 4 days a week, he would just have these crazy coughing fits that were like non-stop throughout the entire night. And it wasn't just like a one-time thing. It was like he would have coughing fits for like every week. There was like one span of a few days where he would just have coughing fits. Like, I don't know what was wrong with him. And this was during the heat of that damn COVID-19. This was in the heat of that. So like, and I wasn't really that paranoid about like COVID, to be honest, because I'm like a healthy adult. But he would just be coughing up fucking lungs. the entire night. So it would be so hard for me to go to sleep because it was like mucus filled, like deep guttural fucking coughs that were coming out of the deepest depths of his fucking stomach, or wherever the coughs come from. I never made a peep about that to him because it's like, I guess it's uncontrollable for him, but it's also like, dude, come on, get with the fucking times. And if you got a cough, like have some cough drops or something. And that's really all the content I can give you about Tristan. There's not really much more to say about him. I guess to describe him, he was like a 6'3", 250-pound Dominican man with like long curly hair. Spoke like he had like a heavy Dominican accent. Like he would call me Machu. And that's all you got to know about him. Done with Tristan. I had one more story from college. Me personally, I'm like somewhat of a germaphobe. Like I'm in denial about it. And it's weird though, because like I'm a germaphobe about like 50% of things, and then the other 50%, like I really could give a fuck. The number one thing that I don't fuck around with is my bed and the cleanliness of my bed and the cleanliness of the stuff that goes in my bed and on my bed. Let me explain. I don't touch my bed until I'm fully showered and I'm about to go to bed. Like my bed is strictly for bed business, you feel me? Like I'm not sitting on my bed to chill because I got my outside clothes on and I'm not showered and you know what I mean? Like I don't mess with that. Like my bed is a clean place and my bed is for sleeping and that's it. If my mother was having a heart attack and she needed to like somewhere to sit and the only place was my bed, I wouldn't allow it. I would not let her sit on my bed. Like she'd have to just like take one for the team and like sit on the ground or some shit like that. And I knew this was going to be an issue in college because you always got people running in and out the dorm room like it's fucking a paint and spray in Los Santos. And I always had people trying to sit on my bed. And I was always telling them like, bro, you can't sit on my bed. Like, don't sit on my bed. Like, I don't fuck around with that. In fact, the first time that I really laid down the law about it and really got the point across was in my first week. I walk into my dorm room and there's these two motherfuckers. One's name is Cash, one's name is Duke, and they're both sitting on my bed playing Xbox. It's totally okay. Like, if I wasn't who I was, like, that's fine. Like, they could do whatever the fuck they want, to be honest. Like, they were my boys, so that's not really, like, out of the norm for college life. Like, people are always on each other's beds. Like, that's just what it is. And that doesn't, like, process in my brain. There was this dude everyone in college, like, after practice, they would have people in their dorm rooms, and they would just have, like, 3 different dudes sitting on their bed, like, not even showered after practice. And I'm just like, how can you comfortably sleep knowing that like a few hours before there were some dirty ass motherfuckers in your bed? Or like, even if like, dude, even if someone is like, I don't want anything going on in my bed, and I think you guys get the point, so I should just stop saying that. But they were sitting on my bed and I had to lay down the law and be like, guys, get off my bed. Like, I don't play around with that. Like, no one on my bed for the rest of the semester. And luckily they respected me enough to like go through with that, and it kind of became a running joke in the dorm, like, no one fuck with bed. It kind of became a running joke in the dorm, like, don't fuck with Matt Marauder's bed. I'm not going to say my full name. I slipped up and said my name, but that's going to get cut out, so don't even worry about that. So I guess the 3 things you should take away from this video is, don't fuck with my bed, number 1, over everything else. If you're 22, you should have already seen Shrek by now, so don't even watch it. And number 3, soccer players smell like shit. On the scale of worst smelling athletes, soccer players are up at the top. And I think that's all I got for you guys. So I'll catch you guys on the next video.